Hello everyone, welcome to Amigos IAS Prep Talk. Today I have a very special guest, Professor Ganesh Sir. Namaste sir. As most of you know, Sir is a senior professor in Department of Sociology, Usmania University. He has also recently retired as Principal, Arts College, Usmania University. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, today I wanted to ask you some questions regarding sociology because sociology is one of the most performing options in the recent times, and there is a lot of confusion, demand, and a lot of questions regarding sociology. So I will start with a very simple question. Sir, what is sociology for an engineering student, for an arts background student who have no clue whatsoever about sociology? But we all hear sociology optional, PSI are optional. So to simplify things, what is sociology optional?
Yeah, uh, sociology is basically a scientific study of society.
Okay.
Sociology mainly focuses its attention on the study of social structure, functions, and processes of the various societies in the world. Sociology mainly focuses on not only the social processes in human society, but it also discuss about various social and economic issues that are persisting in global society, including Indian society.
Okay.
And it also focuses on the analysis of the changing trends across the globe, including Indian society. So, sociology is actually a very simple subject which mainly tries to analyze the various aspects related to the human society.
Okay. Okay.
Then it is not that difficult to understand sociology. And if you look at the syllabus related to UPSC Civil Services main examination, sociology constitutes of two papers. Paper 1 mainly focuses on theoretical sociology, and paper 2 mainly concerned with Indian society structure and change. So the student with any kind of academic background can understand sociology.
Okay.
It's not too difficult to understand.
Okay.
And secondly, if they attend the class, if they read the books, if they read the material related to sociology, very easily they can understand sociology, sociological aspects, and they can write a most effective answer in an analytical way.
Okay.
So I would like to say that whether a student is with engineering background or science background or commerce background or arts background, they can opt sociology as an optional for civil services main examination. But only thing is that they should try to understand the content of sociology and they have to develop analytical skills.
Okay.
Why? Because most of the topics in sociology are very much related to the contemporary events. For example, take paper 2,
Okay, sir.
which is on Indian society. We discuss about land reforms, green revolution. So these are very much related to the Indian society. For example, when we talk about the green revolution, what is green revolution? How green revolution has contributed for food security,
Okay.
increasing food grain production. But at the same time, there are several social consequences on human population.
Okay.
So what are the social consequences of green revolution? That's what a student need to understand, which is not that difficult.
Okay.
Similarly, there are many issues like poverty, unemployment, child labor, violence against women. Like that, there are many issues which are persisting in Indian society for the past several decades.
Okay. Okay.
So a sociology student need to understand what is a particular issue, right? It could be a poverty or unemployment or child labor. What are the causes for those issues? And what are the initiatives of the state? And what kind of suggestions we can make
Okay.
to solve those issues?
Okay.
So like that, a common sense understanding is enough, right, to get a command over sociology.
Okay. So in simple terms, like for an engineering student, he need not have any basic idea about sociology,
Yes.
but he can come into sociology field,
Yeah.
take the classes, and can easily understand what is happening because it is very much aligned to the contemporary life.
Yes, yes, definitely.
So
Definitely.
if anything is happening in Indian society or economy, polity, whatever changes are happening, that will also affect your societal life,
Yes,
and that
Yeah.
will be the core understanding in sociology.
yes. Even let me tell you,
Sir.
for the past 25 years, I have observed the uh, the trends in civil services examination.
Yes, sir.
Most of the students who were successful with sociology as an optional were engineering students. Many of them were engineering students,
Yes, sir.
and they got IAS, IPS, IRS,
Yes, sir.
like that.
So there is no bar, no
No
pre-requirement.
Even engineering student can also understand sociology in much better way.
Okay. Okay.
And to understand sociology, a student need not have any social science background.
Exactly. Okay.
And if they attend the class and if they take the classroom notes regularly, and if they read the handouts which we give after the completion of the lecture, and if they attend these practice tests,
Okay.
definitely they can score very good marks.
Okay. Sir, there is a common doubt in the mind of the student. Sir, do I need to remember all the technicalities, thinkers? See, people try to confuse themselves, right? Like sociology is a technical subject. Should I remember a lot of names and all those things in paper one? Then paper two is more of application oriented. Like this, people will have different kind of stereotypes or opinions.
In fact, there is no need to have such kind of apprehensions.
Okay.
Let me tell you, just now you are mentioning about the theories.
Yes, sir.
If you look at the topics in paper 1, mostly they are related to the theoretical aspects. For example, there is a chapter on social thinkers. There are 6 important thinkers as part of this syllabus, like Karl Marx, Max Weber, Emile Durkheim, Talcott Parsons, R.K. Merton. So it is not that difficult to remember the names of these social thinkers, number 1. It's very simple.
Yes, sir.
Secondly, the student has to understand the sociological contribution of the each thinker, which we discuss in the class. For example, take, say, Karl Marx. Karl Marx was a critic of capitalism.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All the time he talked about how capitalism has advanced and what are the ill effects of capitalism, and always he wanted to have a socialistic society, a communist society where there would be no inequality, exploitation, discrimination. So he wanted a society where all are considered equal. So understanding the Marxian theory is not that difficult.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But here, from the examination point of view, just understanding theory is not enough. So we have to analyze whether Marxian theory is relevant to the contemporary capitalist societies or not.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Whether Marxian theory is relevant to the Indian society or not. So how it is relevant, how it is not relevant, we can discuss.
Yes, sir.
That's not a big issue to understand.
If you understand the theories properly in the class,
Yes.
you will also understand the application part.
Yes.
So application part is very
It's
important.
very easy.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, for example, take Max Weber. Max Weber has talked about the capitalism. He talked about class, status, and power. He talked about bureaucracy. He talked about religion. So, only thing is that while understanding the contribution of the social thinkers, a student has to compare one thinker with another thinker.
Yes, sir.
For example, when you talk about religion, Marx said, religion is the opium of the masses. Marx considered religion as one of the constraint for economic development. But whereas Max Weber has supported religion. Max Weber has done one study called Protestant Ethic and Spirit of Capitalism, in which he has discussed the importance of religion for the rise of capitalism. Then he talked about even advantages of capitalism. So, only thing is that if the student is able to understand the core content of the theory, then easily they can compare one thinker with another thinker.
Yes, sir.
So, that's very easy to compare.
It also seems like a very interesting topic or subject, because I will see religion normally from one perspective, but I will get to see religion from Karl Marx perspective, then from Max Weber perspective, then from some other thinker. So I will understand religion in a much better way, which will also help me to understand 2024 Indian society.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. And let me tell you another aspect. The content of sociology is not only helpful to understand about this modern society, but it is also helpful to write a most effective answer even in general studies and even for essay writing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Essay. Nowadays, at least one or two topics in essay paper are related to social and economic issues.
Definitely, sir.
So the sociological knowledge is very much helpful for the student to write a most effective essay.
Yes, sir.
That is one. And the analytical skills which the sociology student gain, right, is also very much helpful for general studies.
Yes, sir.
Even if you look at the topics in general studies paper 1 and paper 2, you can find there are many topics related to the contemporary Indian society, like urbanization and industrialization, migration, poverty and inequalities, regionalism, then communalism, secularism. So like that, there are many topics which are directly related to sociology.
They are overlapping in a way. Society and social issues, or whatever in GS papers, are overlapping with sociology.
And the knowledge of sociology is very much helpful to write a most effective answer in general studies.
Definitely, sir.
For example, take regionalism. We study regionalism as an issue in sociology as well as general studies. But when we talk about regionalism, the student is supposed to understand why these regional tendencies are increasing in Indian society.
Yes, sir.
What are the main reasons?
Yes, sir.
What are the main factors that have contributed for the rise of regional tendencies in different parts of the country? And if these regional movements continues to exist in different parts of the country, how such movements are going to affect the national integration?
Yes, sir.
But ultimately, nation is more important.
Yes, sir.
So how these regional movements become a threat for national integration? So from that context, we can understand many issues.
Yes, sir. So to summarize in a way, for an engineering student or for any background in that matter, sociology is very easy to comprehend. The thinkers and all these people will only make your conceptual clarity more.
Yes.
And that will also help us in GS papers and essay papers.
Yes.
And lastly, it improves our critical thinking, which will overall help us in every way, like building our personality also.
Yes.
So there are multiple positive spillovers of taking sociology as an optional. Sir, to continue the discussion, we have established that sociology is a wonderful optional, right? But why should I approach you, or why should I come to you? What makes Professor Ganesh Sir so special for sociology? How will you help me in my journey if I take sociology?
Yeah. First, let me tell you that I am in the field of teaching sociology for the past 34 years
Yes, sir.
as an academician.
Yes, sir.
And I have gained a lot of experience
Hmm.
related to teaching sociology for the postgraduate students and even PhD students in Usmania University. That is one
Yes,
experience.
sir.
Secondly, training the students for civil services examination has been my passion for the past 25 years.
Yes, sir.
For the past 25 years, I am training the students
Hmm.
for the civil services examination
Hmm.
who have opted sociology as an optional.
Yes, sir.
Third, many of my past students were successful.
Hmm.
Most of them, they have scored more than 300 out of 500 marks in sociology.
Yes, sir.
Then I have done many experiments
Hmm. Hmm.
with teaching, then discussion, conducting practice tests,
Hmm.
evaluation,
Hmm. Hmm.
giving feedback to the students.
Hmm.
So all these exercises have made me
Sir.
perfect in teaching.
Yes, sir.
So I try to train and teach the students, right, as per the needs of the UPSC
Yes, sir.
requirement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What exactly UPSC subject experts
Hmm.
uh, look for,
Hmm. Hmm.
keeping that aspect in view,
Hmm.
I try to train the students,
Okay.
especially with regard to sociology.
Okay.
That's number one. Secondly, I not only teach,
Hmm.
and always I try to connect sociology to the general studies.
Yes, sir.
Especially in paper 2, we discuss so many topics
Hmm.
which are directly or indirectly related to the general
Hmm.
studies.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Let me give you some examples like population dynamics.
Huh.
So, population is a most important issue.
Yes, sir.
And I try to provide so much of statistical data related to the population.
Hmm.
And there are issues like declining sex ratio,
Hmm. Hmm.
declining child sex ratio, increasing aged population. All these are the major challenges as far as population is concerned.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, development and displacement. Now, you see, now we want to make India as a developed nation.
Hmm.
Yes, that's good. But in the process, many development projects are resulting into the displacement of millions of population.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So, what exactly happening with the displaced persons?
Hmm.
So, what kind of rehabilitation and resettlement measures are required?
Okay.
So, like that, whenever I discuss these topics, I try to connect to the general studies, which will be very much helpful to strengthen the student.
Yes, sir.
And another important aspect is that always I give maximum time for the student.
Yes, sir.
I sit with the student, I try to clarify their doubts, I conduct the tests, I give the feedback,
Hmm.
and if at all they have any doubts, I'll clarify their doubts
Okay.
within the class, outside the class.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So that is why I think in a with great humility,
Yes,
I
sir.
want to tell
Hmm.
that definitely I am a right teacher
Yes, sir, sir. That is beyond
for
doubt, sir.
the students who are preparing for civil
Yes,
services
sir. Yes, sir.
examination.
Be-
And I teach with passion.
Exactly, sir.
I teach with passion.
Yes.
Always I think that how to make the student successful.
Hmm.
That is my passion.
Yes, sir. And people who work for passion will always give beyond what is expected.
Yes.
Sir. So, sir, generally comprehension, like there is some apprehension, right? So, evaluation, when it comes to evaluation, you have mentioned the test series and all those things. So, you definitely have 20 to 30 years of experience in these UPSC circles. So, you have much deeper insights than most of the faculty when it comes to evaluation. So, can you give some inputs on what is your thought process regarding evaluation, or regarding the students' benchmark and the UPSC benchmark.
Yeah. Whether it is a UPSC Civil Services exam or any, for that matter, any competitive examination across the country, once the question paper is set, paper setters also prepare the key.
Okay. Okay.
That means what exactly they expect from the student. So the key is also prepared by the subject experts.
Yes, sir.
So when you look at that key, a student is supposed to present his answer logically and effectively. So this logical order is very important.
Yes, sir.
So where you begin and where you end, that logical order is very, very important. And depending upon the nature of the topic, a student is supposed to write brief introduction. Then they have to analyze. For example, critically examine the Marxian theory of class struggle. Do you think that Marxian theory is relevant to the developing society in the world?
Okay.
If the question is like that.
Yes, sir.
So here there are two parts.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, a student has to understand the question.
Okay.
So brief introduction. What is the core ideas of Marx? Then how Marx has discussed his theory of class struggle. Then what is the critique against Marx, against Marxian theory. Then coming to its relevance, relevance to the contemporary developing nations.
Yes, sir.
So now briefly we have to say what is the situation in the contemporary developing nations. Whether the social and economic conditions are in tune with the Marxian expectations, right, for the occurrence of proletarian revolution.
Okay. Okay.
So then we have to discuss what kind of changes that took place in capitalism. And Marx thought about capitalism in a different way.
Yes, sir.
But now there are many changes in a contemporary capitalism.
Yes, sir.
And Marx could not visualize certain things.
Yes, sir.
So that kind of understanding is very much required. So my point is that introduction, analysis, then logical order, then ultimately drawing conclusion. One should not end the answer abruptly. They should conclude with that means as per the requirement of the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes the question demands your suggestions.
Okay.
Then you have to end your answer with suggestions. So one has to draw the conclusion on the basis of the analysis.
Okay.
Then secondly, language.
Yes, sir.
Language is also very, very important. One should write the answer in an academic language.
Yes, sir.
For example, sociology. If you read anything on sociology, you can find certain sociological terminology.
Yes, sir.
So one should try to present the answer with that sociological terminology. Then only the answer would be effective.
Yes, sir.
And sometimes certain questions demand statistical data.
Okay.
For example, when you talk about population,
Yes, sir.
when you talk about migration, when you talk about green revolution, some statistical data is required. So you have to substantiate your argument with statistical data.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So like that, first of all, a student has to understand what are the requirements of a question. Accordingly, they have to present their answer in a logical order.
Okay. Okay.
So then only they can impress upon the examiner.
Yes, sir.
And definitely they will get very good marks.
So when a student writes an answer and when he brings it to you after the evaluation,
Yeah.
so you will compare his answer with the benchmark that you have in the mindset,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Then you will tune him or groom him into the way so that he will get higher scores.
Yes,
Because
yes.
that is ultimate step, right, sir?
Yes.
Classes are step A, but writing is step B. So when some student joins your classes or comes to you, because some people might have already taken coaching elsewhere,
Yeah.
but they can also approach you for evaluation.
Yes,
So
definitely.
both A and B will be covered.
Yes, both.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you with my past experience.
Sir.
Uh, Almost every year, I used to prepare 6 question papers
Okay.
for paper one,
Yes, sir.
and another 6 question papers for paper two.
Mm-hmm.
I used to conduct these
Test
tests,
series, sir.
and 3 hours
Hmm.
they have to write the answers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And after that, I used to evaluate those answer scripts.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, my way of evaluation is that whether the student has covered all the points
Yes, sir.
required for a particular question
Answer.
or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If they have not covered,
Hmm.
then immediately on the script itself, I will write
Mm-hmm.
where they have committed mistake and which
Okay.
points they have not covered,
Okay.
which are necessary, which are not necessary.
Okay.
So all those points I will write with a red pen.
Mm-hmm.
I mark it
Yes, sir.
and I give the marks.
Okay.
I give the marks in such a way, let me honestly tell you, if they appear for the mains examination, more or less they get the same range of marks.
Yes, sir. It's like a reality check.
Suppose if I give 120 out of 250,
Hmm.
definitely they will get around 110 or 130. They may get 10 marks
Plus or
this
minus.
side or 10 marks
Yes,
that
sir.
side.
Yes, sir.
So meticulously I try to evaluate the answer
Yes, sir.
scripts. So that is advantageous for the student.
So somebody who is writing mains this year, if they come and get their copies evaluated with you, it's more or less like a reality check.
Yes.
Plus or minus 10.
Yeah. I don't give marks liberally.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes some people, what they do, in order to satisfy the student, they give marks liberally.
Yes,
They
sir.
give 140, 150, 160. No,
Hmm.
it is scoring more than 150 in paper 1 or paper 2 is very difficult task.
Yes. True, sir.
Because as far as UPSC evaluation is concerned, scoring 60% and above is very difficult task.
Yes, sir.
So we have to give marks highly meticulously.
Hmm.
That is number one. Even if you give marks irrationally,
Hmm.
that also gives a negative motivation
Yes, sir.
for the student.
Yes, sir.
That is why we have to give a positive motivation,
Hmm.
positive encouragement for the student.
Okay.
We have to tell the facts, where they are committing mistake, what is their strength and what is their weakness.
Yes, sir.
So we have to make them to realize
Hmm.
where they have to improve.
Yes, sir.
So then only we can build their capacity. Always I believe in capacity building of the student.
Yes, sir.
So this is a continuous exercise.
Okay.
Over a period of time, maybe 4 months, 5 months, 6 months,
Yes, sir.
we try to build the capacity of the student,
Yes, sir.
so that by the end of coaching or by the end of this mock tests or practice tests,
Yes, sir.
altogether their capacity would be different.
Yes, sir.
So that's what we have to do
aim.
to make the student successful.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for spending your time, sir.
Yeah.
You have given valuable insights on
Thank you.
sociology. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
So, as you have heard directly from the sir himself, if you are writing mains this year or planning to write mains this year, make sure you come to Amigos to get your copies evaluated from sir himself, right? He will also be very kindly giving you enough time to give you insights and all those things. So, if you are preparing for sociology optional or if you are planning to think about joining sociology optional anywhere, please do make sure that you visit Amigos IAS. And thank you for watching this video.